Former Afghan Deputy Finance Minister Maqsood Sabit joins us now from Union City in California. Good to have you on the show, sir. Give me a snapshot of what kind of economy the Taliban are taking over right now.
Well, right now, Taliban are taking over an economy that's at a standstill, actually. Right now, not much is happening. The country has all its foreign reserves frozen. International aid has stopped. An economy that significantly depended on international monies, mostly dollar cash inflow to the country. They'd all stopped all of a sudden. Right now, all the Taliban government or future government has is revenues from probably customs and a few economic activities that may occur, hopefully, that will start to occur, which will not be enough for paying even government salaries or operating the government.
Okay. After 20 years, the United States, in terms of its military, is out. You mentioned the freezing of assets. I'm wondering if I could ask you, how likely is it that the U.S. unfreezes these assets, which I believe total nearly $10 billion of reserve assets held in financial institutions in the U.S.?
Well, I think it depends on the future government right now. And this is what the international community, United States and others, have clearly said. If there is a government that's acceptable to the world, and it's all inclusive, of course, and there is a possibility that the world will recognize the government and unfreeze the assets there. But if it is not that way and the government does not meet minimum standards, international standards, I think it will be difficult, and that will create a challenge that will be hard to overcome for any future government.
You know what one of the challenges is? It's the fact that the country's financial system is heavily reliant on foreign funding. It's been like this for many years. I believe that around 75% of the civilian budget and the entire $4 billion defense budget was basically paid by the U.S. I'm going to say NATO, but basically by the United States. I mean, how do they fill in these gaps?
Well, and there's the challenge. Actually, in Afghanistan, if you look at the 2021, the fiscal year, we had a budget of about 320 billion AFs, which was close to $5 billion. And about only $1 billion or so was collected from domestic revenues. That was in good times where we had some economic activities, there were imports where the government charged tariffs on. And the rest, and most of the security actually was funded by the international community. And that's not going to be there anymore. So right now, the only way forward is for the two sides, both the international community, to understand the effects of the sanctions on the common people and on the smooth running of the country, and also for the Taliban to understand that they cannot do without connecting with the international community and at least establishing a government that's acceptable to the world, so that other than aid, trade can begin. International transactions can begin. World is all connected right now. Financial sector of Afghanistan is connected with the rest of the countries, and that interconnectivity is heavily dependent on the political relations of the future government with the international community. And if all that stops, then other than aid monies, trade is going to be affected too. How are you going to conduct trade if you are not able to transfer money in and out from the country?
How do you think foreign investors are looking to the country? I was listening to or reading a line from the Taliban's spokesperson saying, look, to addressing foreign investors, come to Afghanistan. Your money's safe here. How easy is it for the country under this new leadership in terms of them attracting foreign investment?
Well, it will depend actually on two things. Number one, security for investment. If an international investor comes into Afghanistan, the person has to feel secure. Both political risks and other security risks have to be addressed by the Taliban. So one has to feel that the investment is safe. And again, they say action speaks louder than words. Taliban government has to show this in action. That's the key thing. And another thing is, addressing international concerns. If there are sanctions, which I hope not, then international investors are not going to come into Afghanistan. And again, those sanctions are going to stop, again, international transaction, transferring in and out of money, and no such investment can take place if all that has not been addressed. I think, Taliban are in a good position to move forward. They have an opportunity to act in a way that will address people's fears and invite people to come in. Not only international investors, domestic investors. We have a lot of Afghan businessmen and traders who have left the country. They should return. And if they do not have any fears and they are addressed by the Taliban government, I think everybody will return, and there should be an opportunity for all.
All right, Mr. Gul Maqsood Sabit, thank you very much for joining us here on the NewsHour. I do appreciate your analysis.